Hi Stampers, this is Trevis. So today is Video Tuesday, and for our technique, I thought we would use the blend markers and I would do an inspiration everywhere card. So I've done this a few times. I think I've done it 3 times in the past, and it is easy to see inspiration if you look around. And sort of a funny place that I got some inspiration was sitting in church, and I actually looked at the girl's dress in front of me and loved it. Actually, I didn't know her, but I wanted to ask her where she got it. But the main thing was I wanted to take a photograph of it. And so as she reached down after service to get her purse, I took a picture of her dress. And so this is my inspiration. Okay, I love that dress. I love the colors in it. I like the flowers. So that is my inspiration for my card today. And I thought the easiest way to make this would be to use my blend markers. And well, let's get started. I'm not going to completely color it because it does take a while, but I'm going to show you the stamps I used and the colors I used. Okay, so I'm going to put this by me. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to move the camera down so you can see. And the stamps that I used, as you could see in the dress, there's a daisy. Okay, so and then there's these big flowers, leaves, a navy background, a belt. So I'm looking at it going, okay, yellow, I see sort of a coral color, I see obviously white, I see some green leaves, and I see that navy background. So I am going to show you the stamps I use. So I went to Celebrate Sunflowers. Okay, I know this is not a daisy, but to me, it looks like a daisy. Could be a daisy, right? I mean, I'm getting inspiration here, so I'm going to use this small sunflower. I'm going to use it like a daisy. And then I'm going to use Art in Bloom, and I'm going to use this stamp. This is one big stamp. Okay, so when you stamp it, well, it's photopolymer. You can't really see the outline of it, but when you stamp it, you get all 3 flowers. But if you look at the dress, there are groupings of flowers, and there's some like on a slant like that, like sideways. So I thought this would be perfect for this. So anyway, that's my inspiration. That's the stamp sets I'm going to use today. I'm just going to use those 2 stamp sets. So I'm going to use Memento ink because I am going to use my blends. And they're obviously, they are alcohol-based, as you know. So we want to use the Memento pad. Okay, so make sure your stamp is totally inked up. And then I'm just going to stamp this kind of down here. Okay, there's no leaves on the flower. So I found some leaves in the sunflower set. So I'm going to use these small leaves here. But I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sunflower daisy, as I'm calling it, right here. I'm just going to stamp this over here. Okay, so now you can see that it's starting to fill in. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp this one more time here at the top. Turn it a little bit so it's different. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp this again. Now there's not a whole lot of room left, so I'm going to ink it up, and I'm not going to obviously fit all of it in, but there'll be plenty. Okay, great. I like it the way it is, actually. It's starting to look really cool. Now there are some leaves on these sunflowers, so I don't really need a whole lot of leaves, but I'm going to put a few leaves on here. And I think I'm going to try to fit them in. Where would they look best? I'll try to fit them in here. Where are they going to fit? It's kind of hard because that's red rubber, right? And I don't want to overlap anything. I guess I'll go off the page. That'll be good. And then I just need one more set of leaves. Okay, perfect. All right, so now I get to start coloring. And the colors that I chose to start with, I'm going to use, well, first of all, I'll show you my blends. So this is how I keep my blends. I'm going to try to turn the camera so you can see it. Can you see my blends? So I keep my blends all in the storage, and I have them marked by color family. I used to have them all lined up, like start with the yellows and then go to the oranges and then the reds, but I changed my mind, and now I'm keeping them by color family. And to me, it's working out just fine. So the first thing I'm going to do is use Daffodil Delight. So I'm going to use this, and I haven't used Daffodil in a while, so I think I'm just going to use the dark. So, you know, these are dual tip, and it looks like this is getting a little, when the tips get white like that, they start to get a little white. That means it's getting low on ink, although it's still good, working fine. So I'm just going to color in the centers. Like it. And then I think I'm going to color in these centers of these flowers, because when I look at the picture, I do see some yellow in the centers. Obviously, see that. And I do see some yellow in there, and I like the yellow actually. So I'm going to put that aside, and then I'm going to use another color that I like, and that is Calypso Coral. And so when I look at this, I see kind of a Calypso Coral in the center, a light color, and then it gets darker. So I'm going to start with the light in the center, and I'm just going to color in the center lightly. Okay, and then I'm going to let that alcohol evaporate. Takes a few seconds for the color to actually kind of cure, if that makes sense. And then I'm going to use the dark. I'm just going to come back and I'm going to color in the flower with the dark. I know you're thinking, ooh, that's too dark, but it's really not. You're going to see how it turns out. This really looks good, I think. I hope, anyway. So I hope you had a good weekend. Can you believe how our summer zoomed by? I'm like, oh, can't believe it. Seems like after 4th of July, the summer is poof. Once 4th of July is over, seems like August and comes really fast. But I hope you're enjoying the mini catalog and celebration. So I know a lot of people are loving a lot of the celebration items. Okay, I like it. Might need a little bit in the center just to fill in. And it's, I'm going to let that cure for a second. And then I'm going to come back with my color lifter. And the color lifter, to me, is an awesome tool because it's a blending tool. So you can blend with it. So it actually lightens and blends. And it doesn't mean that you still can't come back with another color after you do this. It just lightens it a little bit and doesn't makes it just so blended. And it takes away that sharp edge. Okay, but it doesn't completely take the color away. Okay, so I'm going to come back with my light blend on my light Calypso Coral and just blend that a little more. Okay, looking good. Okay, that flower's done. Now, do I need another one of those? I think I might. I'm thinking, I think up here I'm going to do kind of the opposite. I'm going to do the center dark. Because when I look at the flowers in her dress, I do see this one where I've got some dark, and then it's very abstract-y, which is cool. So I think what I'll do is, I see that one flower that's completely dark, so I'm going to do that dark. This is interesting. And then I'm going to come back and use the light on the other parts. And I do have a completed card. And so when it comes to doing the inside, the background, I'm not going to make you watch me do the whole thing because it's like paint drying, right? You don't want to sit here and watch that. So, okay, I like that. I think I'm just going to leave it like that. Come back and do a little more shading. A little more blending. Okay. So now I think I need some darker colors. So I'm going to use the Poppy Parade because when I see some of these colors are really dark. So I'm going to use Poppy Parade. I'm going to use the light Poppy Parade first. And so you can use with your blends. Okay, obviously they come in sets, a light and a dark. But you can go and use a dark from one and a light from another one. And sometimes it's just perfect. So don't be afraid to experiment. Okay. Let that dry a little bit. Evaporate. I'm going to come back and do some dark in the center. So I love these stamps because, right, these lines really are like guides. They can help you if you're like me and not really an artist. Can help you feel like an artist. Okay, now I'm going to do this one too. There's not much over here in this little corner. So I'll just do this one too. Just do a little, oops. I don't really care for that tip too much. I really like the brush tip better. I don't know. I hate to be a habit person, but I always seem like I go for the brush tip. Okay, now I think these flowers, I'm going to bring in some more yellow because when I look at the picture, I do see a lot of yellow. Other than the centers, I do see these yellows. So I think I'm going to go ahead and use the light. And I know this is getting low, so we'll see how this works. But because I think I need a new marker. So you'd have to buy these in sets now. So seems like I use the light a lot more than the dark. But that's okay because when you buy them in a set, then you have both. Oh, yeah. So I think, see, I think that bringing in that third color is just what it needs. Do a little more blending. Yeah, this marker is almost trash can ready. Okay, and then I'm just going to bring in some of, for the leaves, I'm just going to use Old Olive. And there's not that many leaves. I'm just going to do those quickly. And then a couple more over here. Kind of like how these are tucked behind the flower. These are kind of out there floating, which I'm not crazy about, but hey, it is what it is, right? Just getting inspiration. I'm doing some inspo. Okay, yes. So I don't really need to do anything to this part because that's going to be like the white part of the daisy. All right, so my last thing I need to do is the background. And so I'm going to use Night of Navy, which is in the neutrals. And I'm just going to use the dark Night of Navy. Okay, so coloring all this in with the dark Night of Navy is time consuming. And I don't really want to have you sit here and watch me do that. So let me show you. And then I did add some ribbon because I look at her dress and I see this belt. So I'm thinking ribbon for a tie. So that being said, after I colored that, I mounted this on a piece of Daffodil Delight, tied the ribbon, and then I mounted it on a piece of Night of Navy. And this is my finished card. Okay, so you can see I colored all of the background in with the Night of Navy blend to get the dress as my inspiration. So I hope you enjoyed this today. Just open your eyes and look around. You'll see tons of inspiration, whether it's a bouquet of flowers or it could be anything crazy, a flag. I mean, it's just like you'll see things if you look. So hope you enjoyed this today, and I will see you on Friday. Thanks for watching. Bye.